Sealed Pokemon card investors, you have been saved. That's right. The entire thesis about buying sealed, while yes, there is, I think, validity to buying and holding, and each set goes up over time, with more and more people kind of thinking the same thing and doing the same thing. And
join my crew. You take the card and put it in the sleeve. You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
Everybody trying to be Rudy from Alpha Investments. Of course, what does that mean? The initial entry prices are rising. That's right. All the new releases now are selling out at retail and on the secondary market. Not even the pre-sale stuff. Gone are the days where booster boxes are sitting around at $70, $80, $90 a box. It might be a long time before we see that again for a couple of different reasons. One, yes, we're all mini Rudies trying to be Rudy. But the real turning point for this entire thing is live selling and rip and ships. The combination of those two things, whether we're talking about live selling singles or packs, or we're just talking about straight up rip and ship live streams. When I see Nostalgianomics get up there and he's opening packs for hours and he has got a consistent 600, 700, 800 people in the chat, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. And that's on YouTube. I don't know if he's also streaming it to Whatnot or some other place. I think that's just straight up on YouTube. But that shows you the demand of at least people not only just buying the packs, but also wanting to watch and see what people get, what's being pulled, and that sort of a thing. These are personal breaks. For those that don't know, rip and ships are different from kind of a traditional break, like what you might get in sports cards, where you might be picking a team or getting a random team. This isn't a random thing. This is like you're buying packs and then your favorite streamer is opening them. It's a personal break. So this is far less of a gambling event or a carnival game, like a lot of the stuff that we do see. Of course, there is risk to it. I suppose there's a gamble to it in opening product, but just opening packs in general, there's a gamble to it. Even if you're just buying a box, buying packs and opening them yourselves. So what has happened here is now we have whales, we have mini whales, and we have many whales like me that are buying into sealed product, while at the same time you have a mad rush for people to buy packs and to open packs. There is a huge want and need to open the packs. The newer sets have cool chase cards that maybe we didn't see in some of the vintage Pokemon. I've been talking about vintage Pokemon, some of my targets there, and people are like, dude, please, we're not interested in vintage Pokemon cards. We want the new stuff. We want the new art. We want the new chases. And so that is where a lot of the attention is. I'm going to go for a combo of these things. I'm going to buy some vintage stuff. I'm going to buy some in-between stuff, Sun and Moon or XY type stuff. That's kind of like a tweener. And then I'm going to buy some of the newer stuff as well.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
I look around at some of the other YouTubers that also happen to be rip and shippers. I want to give shout outs. First off, I had already mentioned Alex at Nostalgianomics, but also Catch 'em All Collectibles. He's got a rip and ship business, but him as well as, is it PokeNE? And I'm just seeing other streamers, other people that are on YouTube talking about the business side, their side of this whole world. Yes, they're holding certain things as investments in quotation marks as to speculate on, but they also run legitimate businesses where they are getting product in, they are selling that product. Maybe they're doing rip and ship, maybe they're selling in a variety of different ways, but they are retailers. They are just getting it wholesale, selling it at retail. Catch 'em All Collectibles is an example of one where he's running a rip and ship business as well. He's streaming, and I'm really impressed by just these guys. Not fly by night, I just started a business, and you can tell that they know what they are doing, and I'm just really impressed by that, which shows me that they are going to scale their business as far as it can go for these rip and ships. And that tells me that more and more new product is going to need to be open to satisfy this demand. And again, once you've got a lot of cool art / chase cards that are in these sets, and it's going to put a huge strain on product. And I don't know if new product is really going to be any sort of a bargain moving forward. I think that for a lot of people, it's just going to be buying at that retail price, whatever it is, $150, $175, maybe $200 a box coming right out of the gate. And that just might be what it is. But the initial price point is kind of irrelevant, because if there are good chases, if these are sets that have hyped art and have a lot of interest behind them, there's going to be a lot of people that want to buy these packs and open these packs. So the demand probably remains strong as we move through 2025. A lot of people are talking about how Vivid Voltage is going to sell out here soon. I think there's 1,500 or 2,000 booster boxes left on Pokemon Center, and then you have to go to the secondary market to get it. I still think a set like that, there is a lot of paper hands out there. I think that we don't need to underestimate the paper hands that are going to show up here in 2025 which will leave these prices, I believe, pretty stagnant. We saw some pretty big gains here over the last 60 days on a lot of booster boxes. Prediction is that maybe we see a little bit more of a bump, but I would not be surprised if it remains flat all the way through 2025. But I still think, again, even if the prices remain flat, rip and shippers are going to need that supply. And if it is $200 for a booster box to open the stuff, that will just be passed down along to the customer. If there's an extra $1 or $2 needs to be added to a pack to make that worthwhile for the rip and shipper. And if there is demand for it, which for a lot of these sets there is, and for a lot of these streamers it does seem to be that there's demand for it, then it's going to be bought at $200 or whatever it is. So I guess the big question mark for me is not as much of who's going to hold as far as sealed collectors go, sealed hoarders, but also just how big is rip and ship going to expand in 2025? And that's really going to tell the story of how this product is priced out as we move into 2026. Is rip and ship a growing market? Is it something where we've already hit the peak, where we're kind of at peak rip and ship? That's going to be extremely important as we move forward. I just believe that it's going to be more. I think that there's going to be more and more rip and ship as we go through 2025. I actually think there's going to be new businesses that pop up from it. I think that probably people on the sports card side are going to look at this and think like, I could probably do a rip and ship. They're already doing things on the sports card side. It just feels like it's a matter of time. Whenever there is money to be made in collectibles and there's entry points for people to get in, even if it's buying on the secondary market. On the sports card side, a perfect example of this is Backyard Breaks. Backyard Breaks came onto the scene in sports cards and they had no allocation from anyone. I think now they probably have something through Topps, maybe, or Panini, but they did not start out that way. That's not how their business started. I think they were at least a year, 2 years in before they got any sort of allocation. They were simply buying on the secondary market and then reselling it in breaks, and they had enough demand, there's enough break demand. And again, these aren't personal breaks. These are a little bit different on the sports card side, where again, it's pick your team. It's a little bit more on the gambling side in the carnival games, but it's the same sort of idea of having a streamer open up packs for you, and it has exploded. Would not be surprised at all to see some of these sports card breakers do these rip and ship, these personal breaks. Would not shock me at all. So let me know your thoughts here, folks. Is rip and ship growing? Is it peak rip and ship? Or is it going to be stagnant? Kind of the same thing. Because we looked at the numbers going back a few videos ago. We looked at it. I think it's like breaking it down extremely conservatively, just based on some of the data we have, it was something like 3 million packs or something opened over a 12-month period of time. And that was a very, very conservative number. I think that it's going to be a growing thing. Let me know, friends. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.